Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about a principle that really may blow your mind if you're not at all familiar with it. We're going to talk about how it specifically relates to you and your craft brewery. Now, sometimes it's called the Pareto Principle. Sometimes people refer to it as the 80-20 rule. But what's really crazy about this is it's not something that's just tied to business. It covers and can be seen in virtually everything in life. Now, understand this, and knowing how to harness this powerful concept is something that can improve your business success and your happiness. Plus, it can impact and change all parts of your life. Now, before we dive into things and how this powerful principle can help you grow your brewery, let me share a little bit about myself if you've not yet watched one of my videos. My name is Trip, and after decades of marketing and business experiences, I'm now helping craft brewers market their business better, help them generate more sales, and help them build the business of their dreams, and help them navigate this crazy situation that's now part of their business world than anybody who's in the craft beer business. So from this video, what we're going to be talking about is this 80-20 principle and how it specifically works and how you should look at it within the craft brewing industry. We're going to talk about how you recognize the situation and how you can make some adjustments. From a treetop perspective as a business owner, looking at your business through the Pareto Principle will help you focus on the most important things and determine how to maximize your efforts and maximize everybody in your businesses, all their efforts. This is the 80-20 principle, and we're going to talk about four areas that it's at work in. Your beer, your employees, your food if that's applicable, and your customers. Let's look at your customers first. 80% of revenue comes from 20% of your customers. So my question is, how do you connect with those top 20 customers? Have you ever identified these folks? Is there more that you can offer to these people? Do you regularly provide these key customers with information about your business? What are you doing, ideally on a daily basis, to grow the number of people that fall into this incredibly valuable category? Next, let's look at your beer. I find most brewers have looked closely at this compared to some of the other categories. If you look closely at sales, you'll find that 80% of your beer sales happen from 20% of your lineup. This might be one specific beer, or it could be one specific category. You're going to have to kind of look at the numbers and look at things and judge things, but you'll all of a sudden see the 80-20 is here because the 80-20 is everywhere. Let's say you produce 10 different beers. Under this principle, 2 of those 10 should be generating 80% of your sales. Now, this could fall into a category, like let's say IPAs represent 80% of your sales. Now, this could be shifted from volume to profit, meaning sales might line up slightly different than profits, but you're always going to find that 80-20 principle in here. And it's important that you know exactly where it is and how it's manifesting itself. So what do? If it's 2 out of the 10 beers, the first thing you do is to try and sell more of those 2 beers. If it's a specific type like IPAs, then you need to try and create more IPAs. Think about Treehouse Brewing. They got their traction with an IPA. Now they have 24 on tap in their main brewery. If you serve food, it's the same as beer. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of the items on your menu. So you must make sure that the 20% is always available, that it's being prepared consistently, and see if you can expand in the areas that make the 20% bigger. Now, here's a tough concept when we're going to the next stage. 20% of your employees will be attributed to 80% of your profits. Listen, this is normal. Your cleaning crew doesn't directly generate revenue, but having things clean is critical to production and customer experience. But here's where you must implement this concept. It's tied to knowing the employees who are generating 80% of the profits and understanding this and making sure they're operating at maximum efficiency. You need to make sure that this department is properly staffed. And you need to understand that an issue in this department can have massive repercussions. So now we're talking about this concept. Let's talk about you going forward. You going to analyze everything we just covered. You need to put the work in to figure out this 80-20 principle in those four areas, as well as any other areas that generate revenue in your business, including things like merch. But the concept is going to be the same. 80% of the revenue, 80% of the success, 80% of whatever is good generated from 20% of the total picture. So now we've talked about this concept. Let's talk about you going forward. You need, after doing the analysis, to make the adjustments needed and use this analysis going forward and continually do analysis because, hey, listen, things change. Now, you specifically as a business owner, here's what I want you to consider. If you're a fire brigade each day, your business is never going to reach its full potential. And by fire brigade, I mean you're going about your day putting out fires and doing whatever needs to be done. Consider this. As a brewery owner, if you operate like this, you are doing some tasks that are worth, let's say, $1,000 an hour, or maybe more. And you're doing some tasks that are worth $10 an hour, or maybe less. So by looking at things through this 80-20 principle, you want to be spending the most amount of your time on the things that generate the most money, the tasks that are that top end of the hourly worth. When you figure that out, it tells you what things should be delegated and what things are so important that you need to have a hand in because of the amount of revenue they generate. So this is that 80-20 principle and how you can implement it, use it within your business to make your craft brewery reach the heights, have the success you want to have. Now, one thing I want to caution you of, this is powerful. And if you're thinking, oh, I know this stuff, or if you're not willing to put in this work, that's your decision as a business owner. But I can promise you that you won't achieve the levels of success that you would like to or that are possible without putting your business through this 80-20 principle, looking at it almost like I'm looking at you through these glasses. Can't see you, now I can. That's the 80-20 principle. You're going to understand where you need to concentrate in your business, what things you need to expand on, what things need to be sunsetted, and how best to operate each and every day. Think about that. Wouldn't that make coming into work every morning a little less stressful, and you'll have a lot more optimism? So, hey, if you like this video, if you like this concept, if you like the idea of me sharing things that I've used over all these years, do a couple things for me. Go ahead, give me a like on this video. That helps more folks to see it. And give me a follow here on the channel. I want to make sure that when I do share videos, and I do them pretty regularly, just about daily, I want to make sure you can get them in your hands and see them. And last but not least, get on my list. So what I'm starting to do is really expound on stuff, send people things that I think are fantastic, cost nothing to get on the list, but it'll be able to get you the information that I think will help you build your business. And I'm pretty confident that I'm right. I've been doing this for, about 3 decades. So thank you so much for following along and listening, and cheers. Here's to your success.